yung topic natin is more on studying. So, I would like to share to you yung first step of um, being a student here in Canada. So, as a disclaimer, I am not an expert in immigration, and um, I have parang I will just be saying you my experience when I applied here as a student in Canada. So whatever I will be telling you right now, I hope will just serve as a guide or a reference from a person who has been approved, who has been accepted in a designated learning institution here in Canada and who has been approved for a student permit. So, ano ba yung pinaka first step? Actually, ito talaga yung pinaka first before gathering all your documents before applying for a student permit. Ito talaga yung first mo munang gagawin. The first one, the very, very first is to look for a school or an institution. So make sure na if you have plans, make sure na the school that you are looking for or the school that you will be applying for is a DLI or ano meaning ng DLI? So it's a designated learning institution. So yon. So make sure yon na designated yung school nyo para meron din kasing parang um, paano ba? Advantage. Meron kasing advantage if your school is a DLI after your studies. So, depende din sa pathway that you are trying to get into. It is advisable that the school or institution that you will be applying for is eligible to provide PGWP after your studies. So, ano yung PGWP? So, it's a postgraduate working permit. So, it only means that after you graduate from your program, you will be eligible to be provided with a work permit. So, PGWP is another form of an open work permit. So yun, so you can be hired by any employer na gusto mo here in Canada because you have a working permit. So this PGWP is actually granted only once in a person's life. So meron ka lang one time na pwede kang magrantan ng PGWP. So hindi ka pwedeng magkaroon ng dalawang beses na PGWP in your lifetime. Okay? So yon. So for those institutions or schools that are under the designated learning institution category, you may visit the IRCC website. So this is the Canada website. Madali naman siyang i-navigate. Actually, ayun nga, kaya ko din pala kinukwento sa inyo is because when I applied as a student here in Canada, I only read a lot based on the Canada website. It's official because it's official and it has all the information that you need talaga. So, very informative yon. And DIY or do it yourself ang aking application here. I did not hire any agency to do my application towards the school or towards the immigration. So, yon. So, yun ang first step. Nagets nyo ba? Ang haba, I know. The first step is actually to just look for the school or institution that you think you would like to apply. So, yun. School muna. So, sa second one, kung nakapili na kayo ng schools, of course, look for the program that is of your interest. So, program, kasi dito sa Canada, ito yung ano eh, yung program is equivalent to courses in the Philippines. So, yun. Kasi usually, di ba, sa atin, when you go to college or to a university, ang tanong sa'yo, what is your course? So, ito na si Bachelor of Science, ito si Bachelor of Arts, ganyan usually. Course yun eh, course, di ba? Or, Bachelor is a degree, and then If it's a Bachelor of Science in Computer Science, that's the course, Computer Science. So here kasi ang tawag doon is program. So look for a program. So usually there are several types of programs here. So usually there are the diploma programs. So ito yung mga 1 year to 2 years in length of study. Meron ding certificate na program. So certificate is nag-range siya ng 8 months to 1 year, madalas yung programs. There's also a degree. Yung degree, yung usual natin na bachelor's degree in the Philippines. So this usually range from 3 to 4 years. And then, of course, there's the postgraduate, which is the master's. So, it ranges from 1 to 2 years. And of course, there's the doctorate or yung mga PhD, usually 1 to 2 years din yan. And then, another one is the postgraduate diploma, or this is also known as an advanced diploma, wherein the requirement is you already have a degree and advancing or sorry you're upgrading your studies through a postgraduate diploma. So yon, so marami namang areas here. It depends on usually your work experience or your previous education experience. So there are a lot naman of programs here that focuses on IT, finance, business, health. There are arts and engineering. So yun, marami pang iba. So usual naman, yung usual na mga areas of studies are here in Canada. Depende na lang yan yung availability ng mga programs sa school na napili nyo. So, the third one, so yun yung second the second is look for a program in the specific school that you have chosen. So, yun yung second. The third one is actually to check the requirements na of the school. So, usually, ang mga schools ay naghahanap ng proof of your education experience. So, usually you provide them with a TOR or a transcript of records. And then you can also provide them a copy of your diploma. Usually, for those diploma courses or yung mga undergrad courses, they look for the Form 137. So, Form 137 is yung pinaprovide ng mga high schools natin in the Philippines. So, yon. So, usually yan, yung for the proof of education. And then next, since you are going to an English language country, tama ba? Actually, Canada is a bilingual country, no? So we have English and French here, but majority naman speaks English. So since you will be applying for an institution that uses English as a medium of instruction in college, so you need to prove your ability in the English language. So it depends on the school, but usually ang requirements is if you have an IELTS exam, if you have CELPIP exam, I think, meron din yan. Also, some schools accept Duolingo exam. I think ito yung pinaka cheaper na exam in the English language. So I think yung iba inallow siya, especially during the pandemic wherein medyo limited yung slots for IELTS and CELPIP. Also, ito naman is nakukuha. This is EMI or English as a medium of instruction. So this one is being requested naman. You can request this from the college or your school in the Philippines to issue for you. So this is usually a certificate, a certification that during your course of studies in the Philippines or in the country from where you are originating from is actually English. So, yon. So, that certification usually is also accepted through sa mga colleges and universities. So, depende ha. I-check nyo talaga kung ano yung mga kailangan ng school nyo. Okay, so next, if for example, your program requires a work experience. So, hindi lahat, but usually for postgraduate courses, they require that you already have work experience. Since yun nga, it's one of their requirements that you already have an undergraduate degree. So, sa work experience, you need to prepare your, of course, certificate of employment from your employer, and also if you have a resume or a CV with you. So, usually, i-upload mo lang din naman to towards your application sa school. So, the next one is ito. Actually, pinaka-importante ito sa lahat. Always check the deadlines of your school. Kasi, yung mga school, they have a calendar usually na kailan nag-open yung program application, kailan nagko-close yung application. So, if for example, you're going to a university or a college na talagang in demand in terms of enrollment and admission towards not just sa international students but also to the local Canadian students here. So make sure na you keep track of the deadlines that they post para hindi kayo mahuli on your application. So yon. Usually here in Canada there are 4 terms. So there's the winter, the spring, the summer, and the fall term. So yan yung usually 4 na terms in school. So it depends on the program kung kailan kayo magsa-start. Is it like kung anong term kayo magsa-start? So per specific term, there is a deadline. There are specific dates that you need to make sure na matrack mo siya. Kasi sayang naman, you chose a program already, you chose a school already, may program ka na, you have a requirements, but then you forgot, deadline na pala kahapon. So, yan. Diyan naman strict ang Canada. Hindi pwede na deadline kahapon, ipapasa mo siya a day after. So, hindi pwede. So, make sure you keep track of the dates, the deadlines that your schools post in their website. Yan. So, also, i-check nyo rin yung mga courses. The course, ang term na courses here is yung subjects natin in the Philippines. So, yon. So, check nyo rin. If you have chosen a program, check nyo rin ano yung mga courses or subjects under your program para to make sure that what you will be studying is something that really interests you and something that will really upgrade your current education or work experience. So, yon. Dito rin nabe-based yung actually yung statement of purpose. Your statement of purpose as a student. So, siguro in another video, I will discuss to you based on my experience, ano ang laman ng statement of purpose of a student when you apply for a student permit. So, meron na tayong third step to check the requirements. So, once you pass all the requirements, kunyari, okay na, nakasubmit ka na ng application to the school with all the documentation requirements that is needed, so mag-aantay ka. So, usually hindi siya agad-agad, but of course, merong schools na mabilis din magbigay na to. So, yung fourth one is to wait for your letter of acceptance. Ano ba yung letter of acceptance na yan? Or ito yung tinatawag na LOA. So, LOA, letter of acceptance, is actually a letter nga, It's a letter coming from the school na kung saan ka nag-apply that they will give you to prove that you have been accepted to the school and to the program that you have applied for. So, usually it's a letter signed with the header of the official letterhead of the school, and then lahat ng information about the program that you will be taking. And then, usually din pala yung programs here. Iba-iba kasi meron ditong mga co-op na programs. Meaning, yung co-op is, and on my understanding, it's like OJT in the Philippines usually. In order for you to graduate, you need to have on-the-job training, or you need to have a work period within your study to prove na you are ready to graduate. So yun, may mga ganong programs. So you need to check. It's in the LOA naman. Makikita mo if your program has a co-op requirement, or is it a capstone project. Ayan, yan pa yung isa. Capstone project or a thesis-based program. So capstone project is you just need to create a project by the end of your studies to be able to complete your program. Si thesis naman, you need to have a research throughout your program and submit it by the end para din ikaw makagraduate. So usually ganun naman siya. So yun, laman ng LOA yon kung ano yung requirements of your program. And then, make sure to double check, laman ng LOA is the start and end date of your program. So it depends again on the term kung saan kayo nag-apply, but doon nakalagay kailan yung first day and yung end date of your program. So, yon. Yun ang laman ng LOA. Yun yung fourth na step natin when you're applying sa school for your in preparation for applying for a student permit. So next, if you already have a LOA, so meaning accepted ka na, you have a school already, so ano na yung next step? So now you need to prepare for the visa processing. So as a student, the visa or the permit processing. So since you want, since you already have like an acceptance from the school, you now need to go to the Canada Immigration to prove that you are a legitimate international student. Yon. So, ito naman is mas marami siyang requirements. Of course, yung kanina sa mga school, yung sa schools lang na requirements. So, dun na yung next step natin sa visa processing. So, yun. Medyo mahaba na yung video ko, and the visa processing itself is yung permit application itself is a very lengthy process. It has a lot of requirements, and it really depends on the individual circumstances. So hopefully, in the next videos, madidiscuss ko sa inyo kung ano yung mga, based on my experience, ano yung mga pinipare ko before ako nag-apply for the student permit here in Canada. So yun, mga kalakwatsa, I'm so sorry at masyadong matagal ang ating video, but I hope that you gained a lot of information from this very, real life, real talk lang na student life here in Canada. So yun, for those aspiring to also study here, so do this first steps on choosing your school and preparing for it. Tapos next step tayo on the student permit or the visa processing. So yan mga kalakwatsa, I hope marami kayong natutunan sa aking mga pinagsasasabi today. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel para ma-update kayo pag may mga bago akong videos na i-upload. So again mga kalakwatsa, see you again next time and have a great day! Bye!